Kilo. He's like a limp. He's a limp noodle.
He does not look happy.
Daytona.
He hasn't put in the little things right here, so right now he just has these straps. But Chase redid all of that fence back in there, all that, and then all of the fence that looks new is what Chase did. He redid this because it was pretty dilapidated when he bought the house, and then eventually he's going to go around and do the whole fence again. He wants a split rail. So these are my teenagers. In the next week, because they're getting too big for their enclosure, in the next week we're going to be finishing this section. We need to put in another hutch for them so that they can all happily roost, not being stuck all in one place. Eventually I would like to do another edition of this size on the other side and make this coop a T-shape. We've had them separate like this while they've grown up so that they can get to know each other. Not since they were like babies, but they've been here for like a month next to them, separated, so that they know who each other are, but they just don't quite live together right now. So I think this will do. What I need to do in the near future, before it gets too cold out, I'm going to scrape out the entire bottom of this. We're switching to shavings. That's what my boyfriend wants, Chase. Oh, they're my Easter eggs. That's what Chase wants, is shavings. So I'm going to scrape all this out, switch it around, do some shavings, especially in the coop. Coop is probably really dirty because I haven't been out here in 2 days. And I like to clean it every other day, but it just hasn't happened with all the family and friends in town. So sorry if this is a mess. Oh, hi, sweetheart. Are you laying for me? I'm sorry. Let's see if we can spy on her while she lays an egg. Eggs do get extremely dirty. Our Easter eggers just started laying. I think one of them just started laying. The other one not yet. I need to clean off their feet because they've got those little balls of dirt on their toes. There's another one hanging out. So Chase came into his bedroom this morning. He was like, oh my gosh, we only have 5 eggs. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? Yep, 9 eggs. So we're fine. I told him we're fine. That's for 2 days. We didn't collect eggs yesterday. I don't think she laid her egg yet, because this one wasn't wet when she got up. So we just go inside. When they are this dirty, we wash them. We sell our eggs. We keep some. Right now we're keeping the Easter eggers eggs because they're so new at laying that the shells are still pretty thin, but this is a color that we're getting from one of them. Some Easter eggers lay like a blue. Not this one. I'm not sure which one is laying right now. So I go inside, I'll show you how I clean my eggs for the ones that I do sell. When they do come out this dirty, I mean, chickens poop. They poop a lot. That's why I clean it every other day. But when they start to come out this dirty is when I'm like, okay, it's really time to clean it off. But chickens do poop. When you get your eggs from the store, I don't know, it's a little different. Have you ever noticed that all of the eggs in the grocery store are uniform in color and shape? It's a little odd. I've got my dirty eggs here. These ones we'll end up selling. We won't be keeping these ones. The ones that do come out very, very clean, we just leave on the counter. They last about a month on the counter as long as you don't wash them. Once you wash them, the membrane on the outer shell comes off and it no longer protects the egg from being at room temperature and it spoils. So you do have to put it in the fridge once you wash it. All I do, I have an old toothbrush that's only for eggs, for dirty eggs now. See if I can move you. Let's see a little better. This is all I do. I've never seen other people clean eggs, so I don't know how they do it, but this is how I do it. So, I am just about done getting ready to go out to Lowe's and Tractor Supply and such. My good friend Dina asked what I was doing today because she wants to have a girl date. I'll probably go out and have lunch with her. And then when I'm done with lunch, I'm going to go back to my condo. I'm going to get some work done on some cups, some cup orders. And then I will be, what else am I doing? I don't know. Anyway, so that's that. I am ready for the day. I'm not doing my makeup. I don't like to do my makeup every single day. My mom would prefer it, but guess what? She's out of town now. She's in Florida, or on her way anyway, so I'm just gonna go barefaced and not do that. So come with us. We're gonna go run to the stores now and do some errands.
This doesn't start like it used to. When did you switch these?
It doesn't start like it used to.
I think I got you with that. I'm surprised you didn't notice when you unlocked it. Goodness to me.
Always check your trial. Always. Chase wants a bathroom that is this color.
What about Pepto-Bismol pink?
Pepto-Bismol pink. That was in his last bathroom, so he can't redo it, you know.
Or like someone puked up out on the tree in front of his house.
Good idea, babe. I like that lighter one, if anything.
Is there a color wheel or something I can reference?
Color wheel.
Kind of like Hunter's Light.
The middle one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I have a gallon of the frappe? And
Just 1 gallon? Is that enough for this
And the
bathroom?
signature?
1 gallon?
can I do it in... Mitch, what do you think for the bathroom?
More indecisive.
Yeah.
That's all you need today.
Today.
Why don't you buy the stuff for tomorrow too, so you don't have to come back tomorrow?
Because that's half the fun.
Because that ruins the magic.
Well, what are we going to buy tomorrow? Toilet, faucet, water lines. Yeah. Grout. Are you sure? Should we not get grout so we can grout first thing in the morning?
We could do
And
that.
then go to Lowe's?
We could do that.
So that way we come back to something done.
What's the fun in that?
You're right.
Y'all.
Y'all. Y'all.
So, do I want pellets or crumble? And I don't need chick feed. Okay, so $13.69 for, I'll fix that for them. For 50 pounds, I'm just gonna do pellets. And then, we need to go in there now. Cracked corn for $8.89. I don't think this is on my list, but it is now. I don't remember if I did scratch or if I did cracked corn. Where is it? Do you see it? Crushed oyster shells? Am I blind?
Probably.
Okay. And a 50-pound bag of oyster shells is $9.99. So if you're looking into getting chickens, there's an idea. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and this fills our. Maybe they have one here. Our basket thing anyway. I kind of want to think about buying stuff that I really don't need.
I can find a toolbox I want.
I got caught.
Did you get solicited to hold that can?
Yeah, he did. Because you weren't
Did you
here.
get dog food?
No, that's down that way.
Okay, so here's $2 real quick.
Oh.
Do you want the shredded blend or this one?
Yeah. Salmon and rice.
Spoiled.
You won't lay on top of this.
The whole thing. Give any request? I want one of those things. See,
We're at the wonderful world of Costco.
like this giant one would be cool.
So at Tractor Supply, I forgot to buy shavings. Okay, they did have shavings, so we're good. Thank you, Miller Farms. Mullets, corn, oyster. The lady that we bought the sex links from was giving our hens and all of, I think she had a flock of about 300. She was giving them cracked corn as like a treat and to get them to come to us so that we could pick out which ones we wanted. And so I figured why not just add it to their food. So this bin holds about almost 150 pounds of feed. And again, that lasts me about a month. So just so you can see the bags, this is the front of the cracked corn. Sorry, it's backwards. And then I use the Do More chicken feed. Crumbles, pellets, doesn't really matter. And then I use Mana Pro oyster shells. So that's what I'll be mixing in. Of course, my phone doesn't want to stay now. So what I do a scoop of each. Mix it around. And then once you get into it, when you're actually feeding them, I give it another stir. It's just nice to have a step done already while I'm feeding them. That way I can just go in and feed them. I've heard that some people in their feed setups, they section it off into thirds. And they do part by part when it's time to feed. But I like to have it already done. we were having issues with the chicken's eggs being too thin. My parents' friends was buying eggs from us, and she said that when she wanted to boil them, like hard-boiled eggs, they ended up being the shells were too soft when she was trying to hard-boil them. So we really had to up their oyster shells, and to some this may seem like a lot of oyster shells, but our eggs are finally like a good thickness. Hi, sweetheart. So Dutch is my favorite chicken. She's standing right here watching me right now. She loves watching. I've only named 2 chickens, but Duchess has had a hard time with Bumblefoot. And I think it kind of looks like we finally got it under control. It took about a month of scraping it out, putting more antibiotic, it's like Neosporin basically, on it. We use Prid, it's a drawing salve. And I think that's what really helped fix the situation. But that was, of all the pictures that I've seen of Bumblefoot when I was researching chickens before we got them, as soon as she started getting it, I was like, oh, she has Bumblefoot. I know how to fix that. But I think that kind of got to the worst case that I've seen in pictures. But she was a trooper. She was a sweet girl. You just wrap her up in a towel. I have towels specifically for chickens because my boyfriend, Chase, kind of has like a weird thing about towels, and he wanted to throw them all away instead of using them again, which I found was a waste. So I have chicken towels and people towels. But anyway, her foot, I ended up having to cut it from the top of the foot instead of underneath where the Bumblefoot started, because the hole wasn't big enough for me to get anything, and it started growing a bump on the top of the foot, a mass. So chicken pus is harder, but she also had normal liquidy pus as well, like people. So it was pretty bad, and I'm glad that it looks better now. It's still healing a bit, but it looks so much better. Whenever I'm doing this, bees are very attracted to the food, which I don't mind. Some people are afraid of bees or whatnot. We want to beekeep, but I would like to again research all of that information more in depth. I have been researching it for a while, but I would like to take a class or something with a beekeeper so that I know that I'm doing it correctly. It's important to beekeep, because without bees, we wouldn't be alive. There would be no people, eventually. So you have to save the bees, you have to be nice to them. I don't have a bee allergy, thank God, so it's something that we both can do. The girls are loving watching this right now. They're right in front of me in the coop. Just seeing what's going on. We used to only feed our chickens these pellets. It wasn't until like, I guess a month ago or 2 months ago that I started doing this process. But I was at Tractor Supply and I was looking at all this chicken feed and I was like, well, what if I, with the problems with the eggs that we were having, just because they were so thin, it's like, what if I add this and this and this? And the chickens are happy with it. I'm also trying to grow mealworms. They're actually super worms. They're bigger than mealworms, but same thing, I guess. Trying to grow those. It's taking a while to start them, but as I've read on, the process starts to get so fast that you end up with so many mealworms that you don't know what to do with them anymore. And that's what I would like to ultimately have happen. That way we can give them a little more protein with the bugs. They can have fun chasing them. A lot of people, so we also rarely, I've only done it twice. You can go to the pet store, you can buy feeder goldfish, like what you buy for a pond. Just feeder goldfish. And it's really good for the chickens to be able to like catch these little fish, and they love eating them. Chickens eat snakes. We've done that before. We didn't buy the snakes, they were in the yard. And it was a pregnant snake, and Chase's roommate, I think it was, accidentally ran it over, and it was full of babies. So we brought the babies over here and they ate them like spaghetti. But they like chasing them around and stuff, and it's good. It's like, I would like to think with my childhood development courses, I would like to think it's good for cognitive development with the chickens. So I think that this is going to hold less than 150 pounds. We'll see, but it looks like we're gonna have a lot left over today, which is okay, that's fine. We have, inside of the chicken coop, I'll show you in a minute, there's like a loft area, basically, where we store all of our extra stuff. It was dead space when Chase was building the coop. He was like, well, what are we gonna do with this? I was like, we'll just use it as a loft for the extra chicken feed so that it's not on the ground. And it'll be up where the chickens won't bother it. They do sometimes, if the loft is pretty empty, the chickens do fly up there and hang out in the loft and look for more things to scratch at. But it's pretty full up there right now. I'm going to pick all of these chunks of dirt off of their toes. It would probably be easier if I soaked them, but I just don't want those like balls of dirt stuck on them. sweetheart. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but this is just what I've come up with. We're almost to the top now. Threw some to them so they feel like they're getting a treat out of all of this. So we have this sitting on top of a concrete paver. I don't know, I just prefer it to be off the actual ground, even though it's a metal can. It's just the way that I'm thinking. I think this is gonna be our last. Because I keep the scooper in here and not in the chicken coop anymore, just because it's easy to just grab a handful instead of going in the coop, coming out, getting food, and going back in the coop and blah, blah, blah. So. Our flock started out with 5 hens, and then there's this type of math called chicken math, where, okay babe, we'll start out with 5, or we'll get 5. Okay, sounds like a good number. And then a month later, you start to get a little bit of chicken fever, and you might order a couple chicks on the internet. And I'm not speaking from experience, but I ordered some chicks after that. I ordered 3 Brahmas because I really, it's kind of a novelty breed, I guess. I just really wanted those big chickens that everyone was freaking out about, so got them, but they shipped 4. The hatchery did. And then I went to Tractor Supply. This was this summer, in August, I guess. Went to Tractor Supply to buy chicken food. Come to find out, Tractor Supply was selling chicks this year for the first time in the summer. Well, their minimum is 6, so I got 6. So that day, I gained 10 chicks. Then, I went to a county fair with my girlfriend, and I bought 2 Easter eggers. So now we have 7 hens. Remember, 5 of our chicks were killed, so we have 4 of those from that day left. They're teenagers now. And then I went back to Tractor Supply to buy more chick feed, not chicken food, and I bought 6 more chicks. 3 of them didn't make it that night, unfortunately. Excuse me. But then 3 of them did survive. They're meat chickens, and I did want to address this in the video for you guys. So meat chickens, these are Cornish crosses. They grow very quickly, and their lifespan, a happy lifespan, if you plan to eat them as meat instead of keeping them as a pet, is about 3 to 4 months. So I bought them in September, and about December January, they'll be ready to cull and eat. They grow very fast. So my other chicks, my Brahmas, and I have a silver lace. I got these little girls, I guess it was the beginning of August, end of July. But you can see that my Cornish crosses that I bought in September are almost the same size as my Brahmas already. They grow very, very quickly, and they get so heavy that it's not healthy for them anymore. I've heard that their breasts split and they die. I don't know. It's sad. But if you do want to keep some of them as pets as opposed to meat birds, you just have to limit their intake of food, and they can live a happy, healthy life. You just have to be very diligent on what they're eating, and it's almost like you have to separate them from the rest of the flock to really monitor everything, and that's not something that I'm interested in doing. It's kind of a pain to have a separate place for them right now. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead for now. It looks like it's fixing to rain this afternoon. I didn't check the weather, but for right now, I'm just going to roll up these bags so that rain doesn't get in them. You know what? I think these can go in the loft. They're small enough now. Not as heavy. So come on in the loft with me. So right now I'm inside of the coop. I'm about to put these bags of food in the loft. So that's their door to go inside the hutch. I want to do something cute because it's kind of boring right now. But that's the loft I'm talking about where I store stuff. I guess I had extra oyster shells. That's okay. I'll get some next time. I have dried mealworms. But right now, see, I'm growing my super worms. They're looking pretty active right now. I'm just waiting for them to turn into pupas and then beetles so that they can reproduce, and then we'll have more that are out of control so that we can really get to feeding everybody with those. So anyway. not roasting them. No, please don't do this. These ones are the hardest to catch. Everyone seems to be happy out back now that the Easter eggers are the hardest ones to deal with. They are very, very timid, but they also don't do well with the teenagers. So all of my white birds are the teenagers, including the blackbird. Those two are just so timid, and they never ever leave each other's sides. They because I bought them together, and they don't get along with the rest of the flock. But you can see that my sex-links now don't really care about the chicks anymore. And some of my one of my meat birds in particular follows me around like I'm mom, and so it's going to be really hard when it comes time to cull them and eat them. But it's the circle of life. We have to have food, and I'm just not going to know which bird I'm eating that day. I'm going to have Chase do it, but he said that he's going to find an Amish person to do them, pay them like $5 or whatever they charge to do it for us, to pluck them and everything, because Chase doesn't feel like taking care of that. But I don't care how it's done as long as it's done and I don't have to do it, because I won't be able to do that.
And for us to put away again.
Yeah, you guys are good at catching the chickens and putting them away.
We're tiling. It's Tile Tuesday.
Tile Tuesday.
We'll send Kilo to catch him.
Yeah.
How's it look?
It looks good, babe.
It's Monday though.
Oh, Kilo, please don't drip on me. Oh yeah, it is Monday. You're right.